I'm Michael Breed. It's time for you to learn a little bit and understand a little bit. Now, you've seen it all week long. You saw how the players were shaping shots out there at Riv, and Riv is really asking for you to move the ball. So many times you get out there and you're moving the ball, but you're not moving it with intention. You're trying to figure out, what did I just do that made the ball do that? Today, I want to show you about understanding ball flight. What is that all about? So let's get a down line shot here. I'm going to give you an idea of what we've set up here because this is kind of cool. I've got an alignment stick that's down on the ground here. This is actually an old flag. And then I've got this swim noodle that's coming out of a hole there. That's the straight line right there. And then I have this what I call a U-bar that's going to give you an idea of what's happening with the path of the golf club and hitting a straight shot. Now, the hardest thing to do is to hit a straight shot. It's the hardest thing to do in the game because when you do that, the path of the golf club has to be going down the line like this, and the face of the golf club has to be pointing directly at the target you're trying to hit at with the path perpendicular to it. So that's how we would hit a straight shot. Now, I'm going to try to hit a straight shot. I'm going to do my best. I promise you, I'm going to do my best. But it's a very difficult thing to do. So you get set up, make sure that you're focusing on this path coming down into here. Let's see if we can hit a straight one. Okay, now, that's me really trying to hit a straight shot there. I started it a little bit left, and it curved a little bit left. Greg, if you can pull that shot up. And I promise you, I was trying to hit this thing straight. You can see how that thing actually twisted over to the left, and it started over to the left. So the second that shot happens, many of you are going to go, well, okay, what did I do to do that? Well, the first thing you need to understand is the face of the golf club is the most important part of this thing. And when you hit these balls that turn to the left or to the right, focus on what you're doing with the face of the club. Now, what I will tell you is that the easiest way to play golf is to hit shots where the path of the club and the face of the club are opposing one another. In other words, if I have a left path and I have a face that's to the right of that path, then I'll hit a curve that'll go to the right. And if I have a right path and a face to the left of that, then I'll hit a curve that's going to go to the left. And what I can promise you is that when you can get control of the golf ball that way, you have what we call an L and R or an R and L. That's when you start to be able to play really good golf. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to this down the line shot. I'm going to take my path finder, which is right here. I'm going to set this so this is going over to the left-hand side. You can see that beautifully with that line of the stick. This path now is going over to the left. What I need to do is I'm going to get this little PVC pipe and just show you that what I need to have happen is I need the face of the golf club now to be to the right, this line here being the face, to the right of the path, but it can't be so far right that it's to the right of that flag on the ground, that flag stick on the ground. So what I've got to do in order for me to hit a good shot is I have to have the face to the right of the path, but not to the right of the eventual target. So I'm going to set this club down like this. Now I'm going to twist this club face open just a fraction so that it's not to the right of that flag stick on the ground. Now we'll hit this, see if we can hit a little cut. All right. Now, this is a very, very good shot, and this is actually turning back to the right-hand side. Greg, can you play that shot again for me? And what you're going to see is you see how it starts out to the left, and then the ball is coming down on the right-hand side of the launch line. Now, that tells you that the face was open. Many of you are going to look at that shot, and you're going to go, well, that shot's a bad shot. What I can tell you is that all I'm trying to do with the curve of the ball is get it to move to the right. I do not want the ball to finish to the right of the target. I don't even want the ball to finish at the target. I want the ball to finish to the left of the target. That's what allows me to aim on the left side of a green and curve the ball to the flag, or aim on the left side of the fairway and curve the ball into the fairway. As long as it doesn't get past the center line, I'm fine. It's when it gets to the past the center line, to the right of it or to the left of it, if I'm curving it that way, that I get into trouble. I also will get into trouble if I start it to the right of the start. In other words, if I move this thing and it starts right and then curves right, then I get into some trouble here. So what I need you to understand is that when you're trying to move the ball, you've got to examine the face of the golf club first and understand the marriage between the path and the face. Let's try that one more time. So what I'm going to do here is I'm now going to hit a draw. I'm going to take this path. I'm going to move it over to the right of the target. So right there, you can see it's out to the right. I'm going to make sure the face of the golf club now is slightly to the left of that, but not left of that eventual target. Let's see if we can hit a little draw. Okay, this is a very good shot again. Now, Greg, you're going to want to play this one again for me because this one's going to start out to the right and then it's going to turn back to the left. This is a really fun, this is a shot I'm really happy about. You can see how that starts out to the right and then it turns back to the left. That's an excellent shot and a shot that I'm going to be very happy with. So what I want you to understand is pay attention to the face of the golf club. Make sure that it opposes the path, but it never goes to the left or to the right, depending on which way you're going, right? If I'm curving it to the right, I want my club face to be to the right of the path, but not to the right of the target. That's how you play great golf. That's what these elite players are doing. That's how they move the ball. But more importantly, that's how you can understand ball flight. Always look at what's happening with the face, and I'm promising you when you get control over the face, you're going to get control over your game.